Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. And we are here for episode 256 of the Talk That Talk Show. And I just really, when I'm looking back, I just can't believe that we're already towards the end of August, man. I feel like, a vast part of this summer was a build up to what kind of transpired over these last week or so. For me, all year towards the end of the school year, I've been working hard, putting in some extra shifts at the dispensary, just trying to, make sure that I had some good disposable income so that I could enjoy while on vacation. And, for me, I was working hard and every day I'm just like, all right, we got 2 or 3 months left. All right, we got 1 month left. And, before I knew it, the time had come for us to go fly out west and to go to the national tournament, the USBCs. And, I couldn't wait to get back here and get on the show to tell you guys kind of about how everything transpired, man. I think that, again, putting in all the sports shot league practices, big shout out to TK Tariq, for, spearheading that. Big shout out again to Joe Lemieux for asking me to bowl with him in the sports shot league, in the adult child league. I feel like a lot of that sports shot practice that I put in, really did help me out there at nationals, man. But I want to thank my whole teammates, everybody that went out there to nationals with me, for not only practicing during the season, but really just putting forth our best effort out there. I think that, it was really exciting when I was on the plane because, for me, that's when it really got real that I was actually going to Las Vegas again. I think that when you're gearing up for a league, I think at times it gets a little bit hard to kind of gear yourself up or to kind of ratchet up the intensity at times because you're going through that regular season motion of every single week. You're in the same spot and just trying to, motivate yourself. I understand how, those NBA players feel in an 82 game season or some of those NFL players during those 16-week seasons because, for us in the 34-week bowling season, 32 weeks, that's a long time. And it's a long time to stay mentally prepared and locked in. So, when you come to the summertime, these tournaments, especially like the national tournament, that's your opportunity to like be the biggest litmus test possible. What have you learned throughout all the different places that you ventured to? And I think that, this year, I felt my most confident going into this as opposed to other years because, not only was I going in with my highest average possible that I had, in my career, I had to go in at 219. But, for me, I just felt mentally that the way that we had finished the Bologna tournament and, the phrase of us saying, we weren't lost out there, I think that was a big, big proponent of how confident I felt going out there to nationals. And, I think another big reason that gave me a lot of confidence was the fact that, I felt like I had so many people rooting for me and cheering me on. I had my family members, all the team members, TK, Tori, Tyree, even my boy Jeff who came out there, Pops, my mom who's always texting me, asking me how all the sets were. I just feel like even my team, I say my team, but, the people I work with over the Cloud9 dispensary, I just feel like, in places that I've worked before, I just have not felt the support that I felt from Cloud9 that I felt anywhere else, man. The fact that they had sponsored us with, jerseys 3 separate times this year. And then when I, had basically when we came back from nationals, I presented them with a team picture of all of us wearing the sponsored jerseys. And the first thing that John, the owner, big shout out to him, the first thing that he thought to tell us was, put that put that picture in the front of the store. And he was so proud to sponsor our team, not only a state champion team, but, to a team to go out there to nationals and to try and do our best out there in a place that we're not familiar with. I think that made all the difference that every time I go into work, I literally look and see my family in sponsored jerseys. And it kind of just reminds me of, why we go out there and do what we do. And it's just amazing feeling, man. It's amazing to have that type of support and to see what can come of it, right? So while I'm out there, I'm taking different social media clips and video clips. And little did I know, big shout out to my girlfriend Doc, because she was taking all this greatest B-roll footage that I had no idea that she was taking. And sure enough, we send that footage over to my manager, and they created this whole social media post for us, pretty much appreciating us being out there at nationals. And again, I've never felt from a occupation or a job place where you're just so supported, and they're so proud to have you on board. And then just when I thought all of it was done after they made the social media post, actually definitely go to cloud.9.nj if you get the chance. Send them a follow, Cloud9. They've given me all the creative freedom to, help out Isaiah in creating our social media campaign and just even in-store sales, man. The confidence that they've given me, it's very inspiring because I had a meeting. Big shout out to, again, John, but I hate to keep bringing him up, but it's like, again, when you have these instances where, people truly believe in you and give you opportunities, there's no telling what you can do with it. So I get, go inside after coming back, and I'm in the vault, and, John pretty much says to me, he's like, hey, we love the stuff that you're doing with Barry's Corner. We appreciate how you've been highlighting us on the show. We're upgrading our website, and we want you to have your own page on our website. And I thought that was huge because, in the past, I've had sponsorship deals, with the local liquor store before they had closed down. But to be able to get a sponsorship from the place that I work at, not just in a jersey sponsorship, because anybody can make a jersey. I love making my Talk That Talk Show jerseys. Trust me. Wearing this Clutch shirt, and I'll get into why I'm wearing it, but, making merchandise to me, that means a lot to me because each piece that I make is a part of who I am. And to be able to have the opportunity to now not just make pieces of clothing, but now to have my work being highlighted on the actual web page, the main page of a big dispensary, one of the biggest dispensaries in New Jersey now. That is a testament to the hard work and dedication. There were so many times that I would be on here and I'd be recording to myself, nobody on the live. There'd be times where I'd be dead tired, didn't feel like going and making an episode, hurt, mentally not okay, physically not okay, but I still found a way to make an episode pop. Still found a way to make some, to put forth the things that are going through in my mind and translating them so that everybody can understand them and hear them. To be able to culminate all that for 255 episodes, to get this one opportunity to be on the webpage of a big, corporation, what's soon to be with Cloud9. It's all the opportunity I could ask for. I didn't have to kiss no ass. I didn't have to do nothing I didn't want to do. It was just presented to me as, hey, we appreciate what you're doing. You've done so much for us. We need you on the homepage. We need you on the front page of our website. So, I think that, again, I wouldn't have been able to be there or to get this opportunity if it wasn't for a Mary Beth Heaney, if it wasn't for Chris Shank Jr. coming on my show, if it wasn't for Ishabod Crane always asking me what the next episode is, if it wasn't for Brian Spawn telling me, hey, I think you should look at this when he's sending me memes on Instagram, if it wasn't for my pops constantly pushing me to be better and to be the best version of myself. All of you are a culmination of all the opportunities that I continue to try and build, man. And, for everyone that has not been rocking with me since day one, thank you for being here, man. Again, I feel like, for me, this whole opportunity or the things that have translated from just a whole podcast that stemmed from me being frustrated from what I wasn't receiving in the sports media world. I think it's a representation to everyone out there that you cannot sit on your ass and wait for something to come to you. That's just not how it works. You have to go out here and try and create opportunities and create situations. You have people on the lanes that are, constantly going to different tournaments, going into different houses, challenging themselves. The same thing translates in the business world. You have to be able to make yourself uncomfortable and also make yourself an asset so that when the time comes, you're able to take advantage of that opportunity. And to sit here and to be able to shake that man's hand and say, you know what, you can throw me on your website, and I appreciate y'all so much. That's what it's all about, man. So even though, I didn't have the numbers necessarily that I wanted to at nationals, I think that the impact that we were able to make, and also to be able to be there with my family, it means the world. Not everyone gets to go to nationals. Not everyone has the desire to go to nationals. But, for 3 straight years, I've challenged myself. And I think that continues to build on what I've been able to create with this bowling game that I have. I'm not nearly where I want to be. And that's also a great lesson that I learned from nationals. My girlfriend was very supportive of me and said, hey, you bowled 1,000 pins better than you did last year. Even though you didn't get what you wanted, I'm so happy for you. And you need people like that in your corner to kind of push you through when you don't feel like you've met your goals. But, for me, thinking back on it, I definitely went up with each set. And in years past, as the tournament went on, my scores would go down. So I feel like, I have a lot of buildable pieces that I learned at nationals. And, I just hope to translate that as, I continue on here, back here in New Jersey. And the reason why I had to wear this clutch shirt was because in times past, and, a big shout out to my boy TK, because, I really thank him for always giving me opportunities to step up and to bowl and to, challenge me to bowl in different places. And, he was bowling in a league over at Linden. And the last couple times that we bowled there, I just felt like I had no fucking clue what I was doing out there. Being at all the oil that's out there and, just seeing the different type of reactions that I got there, I wasn't able to get consistent success there, right? And then coming back from nationals where I just felt like I got my ass kicked on those lanes, I wasn't exactly excited per se to go to Linden Lanes, right? And TK has me at the bottom, even though, I kind of just jumped in to fill in for him. And, I remember something that Marcel had told me a while back. And he was saying, you got to continue to put yourself in these anchor positions, to kind of get yourself that momentum or give yourself that excitement to go up there and go in and finish in the 10th frame. And going into the first game, me and TK on that Wednesday night, we didn't do as well as we wanted to. We lost a close game. Second game, we kind of, we did what we needed to do, got, the wood back, got a win. But things were very, very tight. And I'm going to fast forward to the 9th and 10th frame. And I feel like what happened in this 9th and 10th frame with me and TK is not only a precursor of what's going to go on in the regular season, but it's also what I kind of learned and have transitioned from in learning in nationals. And in that 9th frame, I was going into it with a double. I had all the confidence in the world. And I was like, you know what? I'm going balls out, man. We need a strike. I got to get this. I put up the strike. I threw the shot, and I left a crap. It hit the pocket, but it just wasn't my best shot. And I left a split. And the way the other team was bowling to the left of us, it just didn't seem good. The numbers didn't seem good. And I was so pissed at myself. I opened, and I was like, fuck. I just blew this game, and we had just fought so hard to come back. But I remember just taking a deep breath, TK just being like, yo, it's all good, bro. I got your back. And, big shout out to him being the great teammate he was, because, he went up there and he absolutely laced 3 perfect shots to pretty much pump life back into our bodies, man. And I was like, damn, yo, this game is pretty close. I was like, I can't let him down now, man. And I just remember taking my time. Even though this was one of the toughest lanes that we had been on in a long time, I just remember going out there with some confidence and just letting it fly. Boom, first one hits. And I think in years past, I would have been excited, going crazy, and I just knew that the job was not done yet. So I come up there, the guy, he goes up, boom, leaves a 9-pin. He needed that strike, but he didn't get it. And I was just thinking to myself, I just remember just feeling like a little bit of sweat going through the hands. I'm like, damn, yo, not now, not now. This is when we need it. We need this right now. And sure enough, I remember just saying, fuck it, man. Whatever happens, I'm going to just put my best foot forward. Threw the shot, laced it. And I just remember looking back at TK, and I was like this, pointing to the clutch on my shirt, because at the end of the day, that's all that you can ask for. Sometimes you're going to put, just on Tuesday, I had the same exact situation where I needed to get the first strike and I didn't get it, and I think that in the past, I would have let that stop me. I would have been like, damn, and I would have let that ruin me, that 9th frame split. But, I feel like, because of the teammate that I have, because of the confidence that I have in my game, got to shout out the Ducks, big shout out to X League, because, some of those X League matches where if you don't strike, if you don't spare, you lose. I love that pressure. Shout out to the UBA, being in the NJ Northwest, being against killers like that. All those different situations I just try to put in my mind, and it really just led to that moment on Wednesday where, everything that went wrong on Nationals, everything that happened that I didn't do on Tuesday, none of that shit mattered, because I had someone to the left of me that wanted to kick my ass. And on Wednesday night, me and TK did not let that happen. We got a big 7-2 win. I was wearing this clutch shirt, and I feel like so many times in the past, I've worn this shirt and I did not live up to it. And finally, just finally, could this be the birth of what we're going to see for many, many times to come wearing this clutch shirt? So big shout out to TK again for rocking out with me. Big shout out to everybody that I bowl with, my DIY family, my Ducks X League family, everybody that I bowl with my family members, Tyree, Tori, Pops, TK. I appreciate you guys so much for always having confidence in me. Even though I may not get it done all the times, that I'm always going to put my best foot forward. I'm always going to put up maximum effort. And I think that translates to why, continuously we want that people do want us around, and that we do have opportunities to challenge ourselves other places. And I don't take that for granted, man. So everybody that continues to rock out with me, whether, you're a fan of the show, whether you love bowling with me, whether you love to beat me, you know what I'm saying? Whether you like to bowl against me. I just love the competition. I love the situations that are created from the game. And, going into this next season, it's just going to be a little bit different for me, because this is the first time in a long time. Well, actually, since I first started bowling, that I'll only be bowling 2 leagues this year. Most time I'm bowling 3 to 4 leagues, and I would be lying to you if I didn't think I'd be a little nervous in the fact that I was just hoping that, hey, in kind of going back, taking a step in the amount of leagues that I'm in, I just don't want that to impede the progress that I've made. So, talking to my pops, and talking to, the people that are closest to me, just realizing that, hey, just because I'm not bowling in league every day, doesn't mean that I can't get practicing. It doesn't mean I can't get sub opportunities. And it doesn't mean that, things are going to be that much different. It's just a matter of, only bowling 2 nights. But, it's just trying to keep that same mentality of, hey, if I only got 2 nights, I'm going to go balls to the wall in those 2 nights. I'm going to just, put everything I got into those shots and just see what happens. And I think, another reason, too, is that some of the teams will look different. But at the end of the day, I think that change is good and change is exciting. Being able to pair TK with my brother now on Monday nights, it's just something that I look forward to, man. And, having the family, seeing how DIY, what splash we can do in this new division. There's a lot of things that are, to look forward to in this season. And, I'm just ready to, finish up this summer season. Big happy birthday to my DIY teammate, Kayla Johnson. Also, big shout out. Happy birthday to CJ's father, Strike Tyson. It's just going to be a great season upcoming. And I'm just excited, bro. We need to get bowling in the Olympics. Somebody asked me at the store, like, how is bowling not in the Olympics? And I have no clue. I just watched badminton on TV. I was watching fencing, equestrian, some of these other sports, skeet shooting with shotguns. How could I not get bowling? We have enough countries represented in the game of bowling that you mean to tell me we couldn't get a quick little single step ladder? We couldn't get a doubles match, a little Baker's doubles match? I would have loved to see bowling. And I don't know who it is. I got to talk to the committee. But I think that adding bowling to the Olympics would be a great sport. We got 3-on-3 basketball. How the fuck did we get 3-on-3 basketball before we got bowling in an Olympic sport? So that's one thing that I would look to see in the Olympics. But I have enjoyed watching the Olympics, seeing, the different sports that they've been, putting out there. It seems like at any time in the day I can look and find a different Olympic sport. But the one thing that kind of stuck out to me from the Olympics was a certain statement that was said by Kelsey Plum. And Kelsey Plum, if you don't know, aside from being maybe one of my celebrity crushes, sorry, Doc, but besides that, Kelsey Plum is an amazing women's basketball player. I don't know how Darren Waller fumbled that bag, but he's an idiot. But all I'm going to say is this. Kelsey Plum is not only a great basketball player, but she's a great personality and she has a great mind. And aside from watching these sports and these events, I love to see what these players have to say and what's going through in their minds. And she definitely said something that I want us all to think about as we watch the Olympics with some of these women's sports, and then also after the Olympics when we're watching the WNBA and maybe some women's soccer as well too. But I'll say this. Kelsey Plum said this: "Don't watch me to support me." And I know for some people that may not resonate, but she literally said, "Don't watch me to support me. I want you to watch me because I can hoop." And I really love that statement because, I've even caught myself at times saying, I just want to support the game. I want to support the advancement of women's sports. I coach girls flag football. I want to support in that advancement. But I've made that same mistake in saying that I want to support them. I want to support Kelsey Plum. And she literally said, "Don't watch us because you want to support us. Watch us because we can hoop." And when you watch these women out there, I love Arika Gumbawale. I love me some Kelsey Plum. You mean to tell me Asia Wilson on the post when you got her backing down somebody? I know she was on Germany, but, big shout out to Theo. He loves her. Satu Sabali, as beautiful as she is, she's still such a great basketball player. She's got the keen sense, always around the basket, right nose for the ball. Nafisa Collier, some of these great women's players, they can ball. I was talking to my manager while we were watching the women's game and damn, the amount of skill that it takes from these women out there, they can really ball, And I really had to break down the statement of what she said. And she's saying hey, I know that y'all really want us, you're trying to, you think that we're supposed to be a lot more popular than we are. We get that. But we're out here hooping. And as basic as that sounds, I think she said so much in that. So I think that moving forward for all of us, if you're watching a WNBA game, or, you're watching any type of women's sports, whether you're watching Sha'Carri Richardson on the track and field, don't watch them to support women's sports. Watch them because they are just as good. They're just females. It's just females, right? There's nothing different other than just the fact that one's a male and one's a female, right? The sport is still the same, and these women play just as hard, if not harder. So I say this, I'm not watching women's sports to support them anymore. I'm just watching them out of a general appreciation for the work that they put in, for the work that they show, for the excitement. It is exciting to watch the women's game. Me and Kayla still have to go see a WNBA game. Don't forget about it. But I'm just here to say I'm watching women's sports because I enjoy them. I'm watching women's sports, whether it's the gymnastics. Jeff even said watching USA Gymnastics has been fire. Look, Simone Biles doing something that we've never seen before. I mean, look at the girl Katie Ledecky, the swimmer, who's won a historic amount of gold medals. The greatness that these women have shown, not just in the Olympics, but just in the recent years of advancing women's sports. I am here to tell you, let's watch these women play because they're great. Not just because we want to support women's sports. We're watching them because we are in awe. All right? So thank you, women out there, for the work that you're putting in, whether you're in the WNBA, whether you're, playing on the women's soccer team. Did you see that that woman that scored that goal in extra time? The amount of touches she did to score it right in man. It has been an amazing Olympics. I can't wait to continue to watching more. But like I said, from what Kelsey Plum said, I just want us to think about this. We're not watching women's sports just to support them. We're watching women's sports because we thoroughly entertained and we appreciate and are with what they're doing, man. So I just thought I heard what Kelsey Plum said there, and I just think that everyone needs to understand and appreciate where she was coming from, because I think that also took a level of selflessness from her to kind of make that statement, man. So now I'm all for it, man. But hey, I'll say this. As much as the Olympics has been dope, one of the things that, obviously I do work in the cannabis industry, but I've really been noticing is that, some of these high tier brands like Cookies, like Garden Greens, they've had to drop those prices down a little bit. And on my last note before I hop off the air here, I'm just here to shout out all those indie brands in the cannabis industry that are coming up, that are applying real pressure on some of these MSOs. And for MSOs, for those people that don't know, that is multi-state operational people, right? So, you're talking about your TerraScent Cookies brands, a lot of those big name times cannabis brands, we're starting to see that they're having to lower those prices down because you got brands like Prolific that are coming out there doing some great things. I tell you what, Hamilton Farms, we had them in store recently, and we've been seeing their stuff fly off the shelves. And not just because of a pretty decent and affordable price point, but because of the quality of the flower that's being produced. I remember, and this is my last thing before I hop off, I remember there was a time where it seemed like California and Las Vegas and all these places that have been in the industry for years and years, they're so much far advanced from us, right? So far beyond us. When I went out west, when I went out to Los Angeles and when I went out to Las Vegas, I definitely got to try out some really great stuff. I love Gremlin. Big shout out to Stizzy. I got a chance to go see Stizzy for the first time, and I've been, enjoying Stizzy flower for a long time. And to be able to be in there, that's where I feel like Los Angeles and a lot of these West Coast places, they got the beat on us because they just have bigger locations. They got bigger locations and they got a lot more things that they can do out there. However, what I'm here to tell you, when I still brought out some of my Jersey flower in comparison, compared to some of the stuff that I was enjoying out west, I'm here to tell you that the gap is shrinking. Just like we were saying with NCAA basketball, where some of these mid-majors are starting to go out there and beat some of these high-ranked teams, you're starting to see some of these lower-tier independent brands in New Jersey come up and compete with these bigger brands. And as a whole, what that's done is it's made the whole entire market of New Jersey have to step that game up. And what we've seen is a lot better products from New Jersey in comparison to the other states out there that have been legal as well too. So, all the time you hear from people that, New Jersey stuff is trash, this, that. I dare that person to go try some peanut butter pie. I dare that person to go try biscotti from Garden Greens. I dare that person to go try the GDP from Prolific. Boy and Bob, Platinum Kush Mints, right? All these different indie brands that have really elevated everything else, that's kind of where we're at in the game. And as someone who's been on the industry side of things, I love it. I'm here for it. You got to kick it up, man. And another thing that I'll say before I hop off, the one thing that I really love is that, here at that place at Cloud9, we've been able to kind of really translate the things that I'm passionate about to then make it profitable for the store. And never in a million years would I have thought that because I took a picture of arcade machine in Boston, I was like, damn, this shit looks really cool. I'm taking a picture showing my boss. About 4 or 5 months later, now we got 2 full arcade machines in the store, and now we're able to create store sales that say, hey, if you play this game and if you're able to get a high score on a Tuesday when you come in, you'll get 25% off. In that same regard, when I was a huge, big time Knicks supporter and we were going to every playoff game, what did my store do? They stood with me and they said anybody that wears Knicks apparel, they get 10, 20% off depending on what game it was. And, for me to have a place like that allows you to be creatively, to have that freedom to do things like that, it makes all the difference, yo. And like I said, I appreciate all the opportunities that come my way. This has been an amazing 256 episodes. But here is what I'm here to tell you all is that the best is yet to come. Just like we haven't seen a 300 from Barry Buckets yet, the best is yet to come. Even though I'm only bowling 2 leagues next year, don't think I'm still not coming. Derek Smith, I love you, brother. But when I see you at Majestic Lanes, your team won 1 this half, my team won 1 half, Travis. I'd love to see us get that battle on next season. I'd love to see what we can do matched up because, we both got some good teams. We've both won the championship at Majestic. Let's challenge ourselves, man. I hope that we get a chance to line up. Even though we're Ducks together, if we match up in Majestic, the Ducks will fly separate. I love you all. Thank you guys so much. This is the Talk That Talk show. Stand by the people that push you to be great, man. Stand by the people that support you when, you're not having things that go your way the most. That's what I've learned over these last couple weeks is that the people that I have in my corner rooting for me, the people that I have that support me, that care about me, that really, really love Barry Holmes Jr., that is what makes me who I am. That's what makes me dangerous. That makes me someone you want to compete against. You want to put your best foot forward against. That is what makes me the clutch person that I try to be every time that I go out there. No matter what, you're always going to get 100% of Barry Holmes, whether you're in the cannabis industry, whether you're in the bowling game, whether you're in podcasting, whether we're in life, you're always going to get 110% of Barry Holmes. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and if there's anything that you've learned from this, never be afraid to be yourself, because if you're yourself, you never know what can come of it. I love you all, and I'll see you all next week.